Yeah, Rap Radar Podcast, Elliott Wilson.
This is B.Dot.
B.Dot, the international tour continues.
Yes, sir. My passport is stamped.
Burna Boy's out here making big moves, man. Grammy nominated, man.
Yes, Beyonce featured.
Woo! He don't do a lot of long talking, man.
I know. I'm excited to have him on.
It's going to be amazing, man. Burna Boy is here, man.
On the Rap Radar Podcast.
Yeah.
Fine like a $1. She getting money like a $10. She want getting more dollar.
Burna Boy is here.
Yes, sir.
Yes, thank you.
First of all, man, cheers, man. Grammy
Congrats.
nominated?
Yep.
African Giant? Woo! And the winner is Burna Boy.
Got to drink to that.
Amen.
How does that feel, man? Fourth album, like it seems like this album is just really resonating, even more powerful than your previous material. Like
it is, and it is. I feel like because in this album, the message was a lot more clear and more direct. I feel like that kind of did it, you know, and with everything happening at the same time, I feel like it was just perfect.
Right.
what was the message in your mind? Like, did you approach this one differently in terms of putting this album together?
Well, no, not differently. It's just like I feel like it's just the situations around it. You know, it's like for this one, even the way the name of the album came about, this was not what I was working on, as I'm sure you would know.
Yeah.
But with like the Coachella thing happening, and you know, there was just a bunch of reasons to stand up and show the pride of me and my people, you know. Yeah, by my people I mean you as well, you know. So,
no, but that's the declaration. I think when people aren't clear, when you hear African Giant, it's not about just you bigging yourself up.
Yeah.
There's a deeper message to it.
Much deeper. It's like even with the Coachella thing, some people might think I did it for myself, but I was going to perform there regardless.
Yeah.
You understand? Right. So it really had nothing to do with me.
So for people that don't know, they did the flyer, and you know sometimes artist names aren't billed properly. They had the Burna Boy name a little small in there.
You know?
and you shared that. And you wasn't cool with that. You made a statement.
I was not. I don't. And it's not like I wasn't cool with it because of me alone, but it was mostly because of the people that will come after me. Right. So that the next Nigerian that's gonna be performing that has gotten to where to the point I was at for Coachella to reach out for me to perform there. I mean, that next person is going to definitely be able to see his name. Yeah. Do you understand? Because they've seen, not only have they seen, it's not just about me coming out to say, put the name bigger. Nah, now they've seen what came after. Yeah. Do you understand? They've seen the work, they've seen the progress, they've seen what it really means to be an African giant.
What does that mean? Is there like a definition to an African giant?
It's like there's no one definition.
Okay.
You know, it's something that is a lifestyle, is your approach on life, it's your approach to blackism. Do you understand? It's your pride of being the one that they told not to be proud. Yeah. Do you understand?
Yeah. I seen a clip of like a show, you know, your mother's your manager and she's very involved in your career. I think I saw a clip of a show in Paris and you brought her out.
Yeah, because I did that because she speaks French.
Yeah, translating, right? And then I think you had said to the crowd, make sure you know where you come from and know the strength that you possess, and the power of everyone comes from their roots.
Yeah.
Why was that important to convey that message to the crowd?
I mean, that's something I say. I say things along those lines in almost all my shows, because my mission above everything else is to make Africa one people. Do you understand? And in that sense, I mean, just even in the way that you are here, it's the United States of America.
Right.
That's the real power of this place. For me, I look at this place, and that's what I see. That's where the strength really comes from. Do you understand? It's the fact that it has successfully become the United States of America, as opposed to us, who are the divided states of Africa.
Right. I saw some unity on the back of the cover for African Giant. It seemed like you had portraits of 3 different men on the back. Who are those people?
My grandfather, my father, and me as a baby.
Oh, okay. Why was it important to have those images on there?
Because for me, I feel like it's important to, I mean, as far as men go in my lineage, that was as much as the album could hold.
Right.
You know, so yeah, I feel like that's something that's also important, because something that how do I say, my people have been stripped of in this day and age. Do you understand? And that's also part of the weakness.
Like identity.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
But it's also important, man. You got this Grammy nomination for African Giant.
Exactly.
Yeah. I saw somebody said that other Nigerian artists have been nominated, but no Nigerian has won yet the award.
Yeah.
It's for Best World Album at the
Yeah.
Grammys.
So you could be the first Nigerian-based artist to win this award.
Facts.
How did? Where were you when you got the nomination?
In Paris.
In Paris. Yes. So you just woke up to it, or
no? My uncle just ran in the room screaming, just kicking shit, breaking shit.
So there's been some great award moments for you, like BET. You stepped out, had to get a drink. I say a beverage.
Yeah.
And your mom took the stage, man. Like, talk about that. Like, what do you think if this Grammy happens, you're gonna make sure you have whatever you need at your situation? So
I mean,
you gotta touch that stage.
For me, I don't plan anything. I believe in like life is already planned.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I'm not even in any position to say this is what's gonna happen, because I have no control over that.
right?
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So it's like I can write a speech right now, and then at the time, let's say I make it to the stage, and there's beverages, you know, and I make it there, and then the feeling is just going to be too overwhelming, and I'm going to say something a whole different thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to forget I even wrote something down to say,
Right.
you know. So, or something might happen and I might not be able to make it there, or you know, there's too many possibilities, too many outcomes.
I think no matter what, you should still bring your mom up because your mom is lit.
Yeah,
man.
always.
What's the other award show where she jumped on stage? She said, "Expect more madness," right?
Yeah, that's
was
another
amazing.
award show, the Sound City MVP.
Sound City, because that was for 2018. She was like, "My son got some stuff. Expect more madness in 2019."
Yes.
What is that like to have your mom is managing you, and it's always been from day one, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's something that it feels safe, and it feels like killing like 5 birds with one stone.
Yeah,
you know, and at the same time, it feels frustrating
Why do you say that?
because she's my mom.
but is it one positive? It's like almost like you can trust her though, right?
Yeah,
like a lot of times
that's why
in
I feel
business,
safe.
right? Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Because it seems like you know you're not the brother to wrong. You know what I mean? Like you want to trust somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like to put yourself in with business. Like
Exactly.
So you can't really say you had all these horrible experiences
Yeah,
with
exactly.
these different managers and
Exactly.
different people. Because
Exactly.
mom's always been in your corner.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this year's been crazy though for the most part. I mean, outside of the awards, you had this solo feature on Beyonce's The Lion King soundtrack.
Yeah, his own song.
The
in
only
there.
song, the only one. How does that happen, Burna Boy?
To ask her. You know?
Did she call you up, or how did that?
I definitely didn't call her up.
What's the song? Ja-R-E? Am I saying?
Ja,
it
right.
Let's talk about that song. Like, why did you decide to share that song? And it was your only, was that a song you
I
already
didn't
had? Or?
decide any of that. You know, we
Mom
had a whole.
decided.
No, she didn't.
Oh.
We had a whole another. There was a whole different plan. Like, Beyonce and them. They called me. The her team.
Yeah.
They called me for another song, which we had already done a deal for. And it's like that's the one.
Yeah.
You know, and she was supposed to be on that one. And then somewhere along the line, I came to LA. I went to LA, to finish up the record or something along them lines, if my memory serves correctly. I went there to finish up that record, and then I was with P2J, who is the producer, but P2J is also one of my producers as well. So we have a bunch of tracks together that's just there that we've just worked on because we work spontaneously.
Yeah.
And then we kind of took a break from the Beyonce stuff, and then he was playing me some of the unreleased stuff, some of the stuff me and him had made that he felt like I had forgotten, which is facts. I had forgotten.
So many
You know,
tunes.
yeah. So he played that, and then Beyonce's, I think, was her PA or what. I don't know what that one's job was, but she was the one that was really there.
Yeah.
And then, she heard that one, and they were like, "No, they want this one."
Oh, wow.
And then I'm confused because that was not the plan. But yeah, they're like, they want this one, so I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
all right. Well,
And the rest is history.
what can I do?
It's out of your head.
Right. How do you feel about the reception of African Giant and just Afrobeats in general, but specifically like your project? Because it seems like people that are not necessarily familiar with that sound have embraced it so much.
It's nominated for a Grammy, man.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any more feeling than that one. It's like, you know.
But you've been put so much work in. How does it feel to sort of like cross over to the state side, but in this very authentic way, right? Like you haven't had to sacrifice who you are and what you built. Like it has to feel rewarding to be at this place now, right?
Yeah, it does. It does feel rewarding, and especially because this is something I've been doing for the last, God knows how long of my life, since 2010 professionally, you know? And this is, I don't know, I feel like it's something that was just always going to happen,
Yeah.
you know?
Right.
It was just always going to happen.
We know like the lineage, like your granddad manager, Fela Kuti. Like, so do you feel like it was always going to be your destiny to get involved in music?
Yeah.
Yeah. And one of the records in particular that stands out the most is like Collateral Damage off the project. Why do you think that song has resonated so much?
It's the reality,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
It's the reality hits you so hard in the chest that you have to lose your breath.
What's the reality for people that don't know for that song? Like, why did you? What's the message behind that song?
The message is, the song is called Collateral Damage, and why it's called Collateral Damage is because we, as not just Nigerians, as Africans, that's the citizens, not the powers that be, we are all collateral damage. Even the powers that be are collateral damage, but now they've become the powers that be, and now they're
Right.
Do you understand? Because at the end of the day, whatever, let's even start from the name of your country or your whatever. It's not a name that was given by your ancestors.
Right.
Do you understand? Somebody came from somewhere and told you that you are this, and then now that's who you are.
Right.
Do you understand? So now you're collateral damage because their reason for naming you that and their reason for even coming in the first place had nothing to do with your best interest.
Right.
Do you understand? So now we're in a situation where it's like we were almost unwanted in our own place. So now it's a lot of fixing to do, because it's like it's like if you're frying an egg,
Yeah.
then the shell is going to be collateral damage.
Right. It's part of it.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Because it's the one that's going to be broken and thrown away. And that's kind of what the ordinary African man is in this day and age.
It seems like you stick up for the African man too, because I saw a couple weeks ago there was a situation in South Africa, and you had some issues with there. Do you feel like that's been resolved, or you still like?
I mean, for me, it's not. I have no personal problems because me, I'm, you know. But it's the problems. Or the problem is in the reality of the situation. Do you understand? The problem is in how certain Africans see themselves, and because of the way they see themselves, they see their brothers the wrong way.
Right, and the Nigerian people,
Not just
or
Nigerian
just
people.
other Africans.
No, it's not even. We're talking about the South African situation.
Yeah.
So that's an example.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Because of how do I put it? It's just really misplaced and misguided anger and hatred. Do you understand? And that is not it really does not help the unity of Africa.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
It's a very deep rooted problem, you know?
I think it was great about the album, besides it having such, great vibes to it, and obviously you can dance to it, it's great. But the messaging, like you said, even another song, you had another story. You literally give us very educational view of Nigeria and the history. Like, we'll talk about that song, and why was that important to include in the album?
If you notice, it came right after Collateral Damage. So basically, how I made the album is in a way, it's for every songs to flow into songs, to lead into songs.
Yeah.
So why Collateral Damage was before Another Story is because in Another Story, you're going to hear the history of why we are collateral damage before I go into the other story.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Do you understand? And in that history, it tells you why we're collateral damage as Nigerians. And that's because we were not even supposed to be Nigerians in the first place.
Wow.
We were the Royal Niger Company. Do you understand? So we're basically a company for the British to take resources and blah, 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 and go for Britain.
Right.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
And then somewhere along the line, the company decided to buy the whole place and amalgamate it.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, the people that sell the place and the people that buy, to them are the winners. The rest of the people are what?
Right.
Collateral
Collateral
damage.
damage.
Why do you think it's important for you personally to deliver that message? Like, you feel like, cause
It's not important for me personally. It's important for everybody that knows. Do you understand? Once you know, then it becomes important. If you know and you have the capability to say nothing and just go about, then I envy you. You know? Yeah, man.
On a previous project, you had a song "Streets of Africa," and you're from Port Harcourt. Make sure I say it right.
Yeah.
What does that look like for people that never been there?
Oh boy.
Southside, right?
Yeah,
Southside?
Southside, yeah. It's beautiful, man, and at the same time, it's got its own issues, man. You know, it's the oil city, it's the oil state,
Right.
you know. So, and the inhabitants of the oil places where the oil is really found are not really treated the best, or not really in the best conditions. Hence why there was a militancy issue and people standing up against it in the ways, and so it's like every action there's a reaction.
Yeah.
You know, and now it's so crazy. It's beautiful and almost like everywhere else in the world.
Yeah.
The most beautiful place in the world is also the ugliest place in the world.
But it's home.
But it's home.
Right.
Yeah.
You know.
I saw one of your shows. You look like I think you had in your Twitter account. I don't know if you do your own tweets or if it's the team or whatever, but I saw a big show. It was in London, I think, the Wembley Arena.
Yeah.
You said it was an emotional show. Like, why was that show emotional for you?
Because London is kind of the place that shaped me into the man I am today, you know? So it's always emotional when I go back there as me now.
Burna Boy.
You know?
But you get that reaction stateside too. I saw you had a show
but
here.
I have no history with stateside.
Okay. I saw you had a show at Apollo here in New York, and it was packed to the
It's
brim.
amazing. You know, it's amazing. But as I said, London is where there's a lot of history. For me.
Yeah.
So what was that show like? I know you brought out, we had just did an interview recently with Dave. I know you guys
Yeah,
have
Dave,
location
yeah.
together.
Yeah.
Like that's the summer bangers out there moving.
Location.
Like, you guys got to do that live. Like,
Sure.
talk a little about that song. How did that song come about?
Oh man, Dave is a genius, man.
Yeah.
Like-
He said the same of you. He did, for real.
Santan.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
He's like one of them people that should probably lives in a lab or some shit. You know, because he actually plays stuff, and you know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's actually more than a rapper. You know.
Yeah. You can get up on
I
that
didn't.
piano.
I feel like that's kind of what was exciting to me, to even stay in the studio and come and end up with the location. It was the fact that I was expecting to just go and do a feature with some rapper.
Yeah.
And just, you know, get that
In and
done.
out.
And then I get there and it's so much more than that. And then it just kind of makes me, it's like you're good so much standing up, ready to do what you do, and then you see something and then you just sit down like.
Get comfortable.
You're like, homie, serious with his.
Yeah, that's basically how that.
You got another huge look, this Stormzy record with Ed Sheeran, man.
Yeah.
How did that come together?
Shit, it's basically the same thing, man. But like, see, the thing with Stormzy is he's the real lab guy because it'll take ages for everything. Like when we started making that song, it must have been last year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now it's the
whole
lead
year.
single of his album is coming out this
It
year.
must have been early as well. I don't think it was late last year.
So he's a perfectionist?
Yeah,
But you're one of the hottest artists on the planet right now. How do you decide who you want to work with?
Who you saying
I
no
don't.
to?
I
You
let
saying
the-
no to, Burna?
I don't really decide. I just like, it's just very organic, except when you're paying me a lot of money.
Secure the bag alert.
One of my favorite songs you did with Mahalia, Simmer. That was one of my favorite joints that you did this year.
Yeah, man, people like that one still.
Yeah. So it's all about more so who makes sense for you.
Well, I don't know. I don't know how whether it makes sense. It's just how it happens.
Gotcha.
Sometimes it just happens, and those are the ones that mean a lot to me.
Yeah. You got your bars off with Future, man, on Show and Tell on African Giant, man.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
You just had to
That was an experience.
Why was that experience?
Man, that's one that we was actually, like, me and him in the whole album, like, we was actually in the studio together and actually,
That's rare.
Future?
Yeah. So that was an experience.
Was that in Atlanta?
No, in London.
Oh, in London. Okay.
Yeah, he spent a lot. Remember, Future had spent a lot of time in London.
Yeah.
That time. What was the experience like?
Man, it's amazing, man. Amazing. It's like I never seen nothing like it. Really.
Or how he composes stuff, how he comes up with stuff?
Yeah, because it's like while he's doing it, it's almost like you don't understand what's going on, and then when they hit play, it's crazy.
I was really impressed with the lyrics that you were spitting too. I was like, okay, Burna is like, you just gotta let people
I
know.
do this, man. I do this.
Let them know.
I'm not the king for no
I
reason.
always say you grew up being a very super DMX fan.
Yeah, I was.
What was your DMX joints back in the day? Like, what's some of your favorite ones?
Man,
Get At Me Dog? Like, what?
albums.
The
albums.
Albums.
What's,
Flesh of my
There's
flesh.
Flesh of My Flesh. There's the Damien. Was it the Damien?
Damien joint?
It's Dark as Hell is Hot.
It's Dark and Hell is Hot. I had them all. The Rough Riders. I had it all.
The compilations?
Yeah, I
Ride
had
or
it
Die?
all. Yeah, man. That's why when I first met Swiss Beats, I was going crazy.
What was your favorite go-to Swiss Beats record?
It's DMX. Him and DMX.
DMX?
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, that's kind of hard.
Jesus Christ. Where's the robbery? And then it's like it's a different guy that looks like DMX. And then
Oh, Stop Being Greedy? Is that? That's not it. In the video,
in the video,
there's a robbery and because I know
One
it's
of the
two
later
DMX.
ones.
It was an early record or later record?
that must have been a little later.
Okay.
What's your favorite DMX joint, though?
My favorite ever DMX joint is that ain't.
Who We
They
Be?
don't know it's the bullshit. The
Oh
drum.
yeah, Who We Be? That was a Great Depression DMX.
Yeah, the Great Depression one.
Yeah.
That was my favorite.
Who We Be? Yeah, that was a
You
shit.
been riding the whole reign.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Trust me.
But you work with everybody though. You got the record with Fallout Boy. I know you're proud of that one.
Yeah, I was a big fan of them in high school.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So that one was, I guess, was really rewarding for
Yeah,
you
man.
just to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But out of all my features, I think the one I got the most fulfillment from was Angelique Kidjo.
Because of the history, right?
Yeah, man.
Explain to her for people that don't know the significance.
Well, so basically she was like, you see, like, other than Miriam Makeba, for me, Angelique Kidjo is like my biggest female inspiration, you know, musically, because she just aims at your soul and just empties the clip.
Right. What's your process like when you're recording? Like, are you constantly making music even though this album's currently out? And like, do you record on the road or like, what's it
I
like?
record anywhere I see.
There's a mic you recorded. Like, are you like old school with the pen and pad, or you like straight?
No.
Because it's like some of your records is it's such a vibe that it's like how do you?
Yeah, you can't write them down.
How did it was the Ye, right? The Ye record. How did that come about? Like, why do you think that became like this sort of
so
breakthrough
basically,
for you?
It's so funny. I had finished doing the Outside album, and then I just bought a Bentley
Okay.
in Lagos, right? And then I was in a club. I was in a club almost every other day.
That's the inspiration.
Right? And then I was in this club called Quillox, right? And then there's the owner is my friend. His name's Shinopella. So he just comes up to me, and he knew I was gone already. I was already fucked. Right? Right? So he pulls up on me and he's like, "Yo, my guy upstairs just made this beat, man, and I'm telling you, this is yours." I'm like, "Bro, you started this rubbish."
In the club.
Yeah, like while the music is
The height of the party.
he's telling me this in the ear like this, And then he has the shit. He made them put
flash
the
drive?
beat on his phone.
In the club.
He's trying
Wow.
to, yeah. So we go out. First we go outside to the restaurant,
Yeah.
and he plays it in my ear because I got hungry. And there's everything was in the club. There was a restaurant right there.
Okay.
The studio's upstairs. It was a nice setting. So anyway, eventually we go upstairs, and then I start recording.
Wow.
The producer is there waiting, and then Ye comes about, man. That's how I made Ye in the club, because it was just.
So the concept, everything came to you with that same night in the club?
No, in the studio, that moment.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's one of the quickest songs I've ever recorded.
Wow.
It didn't take me 10 minutes.
Wow.
Wow.
I spent the rest of the time listening to it. Yeah, we're there in the club, in the studio, and think till like
Yeah.
10 a.m. in the morning.
Right.
What do you think it was? Looking back on it, like, what do you think inspired you?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I have no idea. All I know is after he's convinced me to go upstairs to the studio, I recorded that song in about 10, 20 minutes, and then spent hours just listening to it.
Wow.
When did you realize it was kind of resonating stateside and really like making a huge impact?
I don't know. I don't know.
How do you compare the crowd stateside versus like internationally?
These days it's the same now.
Okay.
But before it was
A lot of
like
this,
let's say 2 years ago, 3 years ago. My first tour in America was in 2016. I think.
Wow.
Some cities was good, the rest was tough.
Yeah.
And then the second one, it got a bit better.
Yeah. So it's just
It
all
just
about
kept getting better.
being consistent and persistent.
Yeah.
About
But you love performing, right? Like, what's that like? To
Yeah,
do on
that's-
stage?
that's my-
How did you get good as a performer? Like, how did that develop in your mind?
Because that's my first talent. Was performing.
yeah. I saw you on stage. I think it was in Paris. You was doing a little James Brown.
You do it all, dance, shirt off, everything, right?
I have fun.
If someone comes to a Burna Boy show, what do they expect?
That's the thing. They don't know what to expect. Except the people that were in the last show or the people that have been to a Burna Boy show, and then they come thinking they know what to expect, and then they realize they really didn't know what to expect, even if they had come before.
Right.
I
think you kicked somebody out at a show one time.
Did I?
I believe so. It was like you were like, it was so he was like, you give them, I'll give you your money back, but you continued on about the vibes. You remember that one?
No.
It's too many shows to remember.
I thought it's interesting too in the album, like besides the historical aspect of it, like even like a record like Omo, it's referring to a actress from Nigeria, like that you name drop certain key figures or make songs referencing other Nigerians that are well known. How did that come about?
No, it's just something. I don't know. It's just something we do in Nigeria. We like to
Claim each other.
Yeah.
Like Dangote, like he's the richest man
basically.
in the world, pretty much, planet.
Yeah, well, not the planet.
America, Africa.
You see, the thing about Africa, the richest people don't really want you to know they're the richest people.
Really?
So they will not be on Forbes.
They don't want that look.
Right.
No.
But at this point, who do
For
you
their own good.
Yeah,
makes sense. I guess you're one of those people, huh?
Me, no. I'm a free man. Very free.
I thought on the song "Destiny" is the second verse. You really talk about coming past your struggle, right, to
Yeah.
get where you're at. Like, talk about that verse. Like, what was it, your approach on that?
Man, what was it for? I can't remember.
You said, as a little youth, it was hard enough because the older guys, they were starving.
Oh yeah,
us.
yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's all self-explanatory.
But this, you hawking the struggle. Like, I saw somebody was also saying, like, even with your career, like with this, when you did this, it was the spaceship project. The intro was somebody at the time your career was riddled in controversy,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like all these things were going on. Like now, when you look back on it, how do you think you were able to overcome all that to get to the position you're at now?
Man, just not losing the essence of who I am, really. You know, in the midst of everything, and all the clouds.
Yeah.
You know.
Did you feel at that time like you weren't achieving to the level that you wanted to? Were you frustrated?
That's
at
one
all?
thing people don't understand. It's like I've never really been underpaid since I started doing music. So how is it that I haven't really been underpaid if things were not going well? You know, I mean, times. That's why I say it's growth.
Yeah.
No, things get better.
Yeah.
That's true.
You understand?
You keep elevating.
Because for me, I'm someone that's always been too heavy for an elevator. You feel me? I have to, for real. I have to take the stairs because in this game or in this thing we do called music, people who take the elevator up don't realize that there's only one button on that elevator, so it only goes up,
Right.
and comes down. You understand? So anybody that's at the top and cannot tell you was if like let's say you work on the top floor of a building and they ask you, yo, so what happens in the floor below you, and you can't tell me, then you're not really the owner.
You're not in tune.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
But how will you be able to tell me when you just take an elevator that goes straight up every day and an elevator that goes straight down? When I take the stairs and go through all these steps and everything, and I get to that top, even if it's not my own, I'm going to be more the owner than the owner. Do you understand?
Journey.
Yeah.
So you always knew it was going to be a journey to get to where you want to be.
Yeah. Exactly.
So at this point in your career, it seems like you've worked with everybody. Like, who do you want to work with? Is it still like someone on
That's
the
the
wish
thing.
list?
I mean, there's a few people that like I've always thought, oh, how would it be? But it's never really a thing where it's like I'm like, oh, I want to work with them and them. It's just something that happens, you know. So yeah.
DMX is still on that list.
Yeah.
You got to bring the dog back.
For sure.
What would a Burna Boy and DMX?
I have no idea.
You're not bringing Naughty by Nature back, though. I know you was a fan of them, too. But I was
I
like,
mean, that might be too much because there are too many people.
Word.
what was some of your favorite? Because we hear his
Funny
name
enough, I
a lot.
only remember two people out of them.
Vinny Tretch.
Just
and
Tretch
KG.
just Tretch and the short.
Vinny, yeah. And KG was the
KG.
producer, but he was behind the scenes.
He was the DJ.
Yeah. Heard you also like what, Buster
Yeah.
and Big Pun.
Yeah.
I need-
Big Pun was
What was
my
your Big Pun
guy.
I need that Burna
He
Boy.
was my guy. I literally used to could spit Big Pun verses. Like,
Wow.
it was crazy.
That in the middle of Little Italy.
Yeah,
You know
I
that?
know that whole Ready for War though. How they want to Yeah, man, that was my guy.
What was your go-to record for Pun? Was it that
There
one?
was too many at the time. There was Beware. There was just so many.
I need that Burna Boy
Capital Punishment.
rap
Classic.
playlist, baby.
Trust
It's fire.
me.
But what
I
do
should-
you think you're gonna incorporate even more? Because like you said, you open up to having more American rappers on this project. Like, do you think you're gonna kind of create a little bit more hybrid in the future in terms of your sound? You think, or incorporating more rappers to work with?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it's something that's whatever happens.
Yeah.
You know, I can't. As I said, I can't plan anything as well as the air.
Yeah.
You know.
But you're a pioneer. You say you're a pioneer of Afrofusion, which is a unique sound. Like that you give yourself credit for as the pioneer of. Like, explain to people the difference between Afrobeat, Afrobeats, and Afrofusion. And where you rank it.
Okay, so Afrobeat is Fela Kuti.
That's it. Fela Kuti. That's it.
Afro beats.
Which is the hot trend.
It's just what people in, I think it must have been the UK, just decided to call African music or Nigerian music. Actually, African music, let's say.
Yeah.
Because they didn't know what to call it. They didn't want to say, oh, they just wanted to give it a name. So they heard Afro beats from Fela and thought, oh, let's just do Afro beats. You understand? So that's really just the umbrella for like Afro pop, Afro, you know?
Anything with that sound.
Yeah.
Put it all under that one umbrella.
Yeah. And then Afro fusion is like the rebel one that's like everything into Afro beats.
Yeah.
You know?
When did you feel like you were perfecting that sound? Like, what were some of your early records where you felt like this is my sound?
I mean, from the beginning, I've always tried to perfect the sound, and I'm always trying to till now. You know, so.
What are some of your early records that you still love that could be in the set list sometimes? And
see, that's the thing, man.
it's
I
getting
love them
chopped
all.
down, right?
I love
What's
them
it?
all.
Don Gargon?
You have to understand, apart from all the singles that's not on any projects,
Okay.
there's like
Burna Boy B-sides?
there's like two mixtapes.
Yeah.
And then EPs, was it 3 EPs? Or,
Yeah.
yeah, 3 EPs. And then there's 4 albums,
Right. Absolutely.
right? So, yeah, it's crazy.
But out of that, like let's say somebody's entry point is African Giant, right? Like they're discovering you, they're going back, they know Ye. Like, what are some essential songs from your catalog that you think they need to familiarize themselves with?
Oh, boy.
Like, give me like five,
The Streets of
Burna
Africa
Boy
was hard.
classics.
Okay, Streets of Africa. Shit. That's the thing. I can't just name. Too many. Because I'll feel crazy for not naming another one when I name one. So
Well,
better
it's
to not
endless.
name
It's
it.
endless. Well, you said Streets of
Streets
Africa.
of Africa. That was my joint.
Yes, it's better you guys name stuff and just. I'll leave here feeling sad.
Well, talk about the one you mentioned, Streets of Africa. Why that song is essential to your catalog?
Streets of Africa was a song I made where it was in my last album.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just a song that a lot of people. At the time, I was around people who all they wanted to do was leave Africa, leave Nigeria, just leave. You know? So, yeah, that's kind of where that song came from.
Yeah. What's your favorite on on the project, on African Giant? Like, do you have a favorite?
Oh, man. I have a lot of favorites.
Is it your best album? Why is it your best album?
So far, yeah.
Why do you think it's your best album?
Because it's my most recent.
Are we cooking up the next one?
Most definitely.
You say he records everywhere. Do you have songs like in the stash, or do you like constantly just?
Yeah, too many.
Oh, okay.
Too many. And then there's still more that keeps on. It just keeps on going. You know.
You still feel a need to put like mixtapes out, feed that core? Or?
Yeah, I feel the need to put out music.
Okay.
It's almost an addiction.
Right.
You know.
So getting this hot moment and like all this attention just motivates you even more to just keep this momentum going?
Yeah. Because now it's like there's more people listening, so, you know, keep going.
Do you think it's great that there's still a level of discovery with you, right? Like you're
Yeah,
established.
that's something that's very amazing.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you never stop growing.
Yeah.
You know?
What's the ill thing? Because like before you came in, Elliott and I were talking. It was like, yo, we listened to the Burna Boy music. It was like, oh, I like this song. I know this song.
Yeah.
It's like
I would know songs and I didn't know it was you.
Right.
I hear a song and be like, oh, I heard that song before. That song's a good song. But I didn't necessarily connect it with you at first, like earlier material. So
Yeah. I mean, that happens a lot as well. You know? It does. So that's one of the things that, you know, excites me about everything.
right. So what can we expect in 2020, man?
Man, just growth, more moving forward.
Right.
You know, never stagnant or backwards.
Word.
You know, so, yeah. For me, as long as we're moving forward, I'm good.
Right.
It doesn't matter how many steps forward. As long as it's forward, I'm good. And it's a continuous. We keep going forward. I have no complaints, you know.
More progression.
More progression, bro. I'm gonna see you on that Grammy stage, though, man.
Amen.
About to get that joint, though.
Yeah, man.
If you win, Mama's coming on stage too.
Most definitely.
Absolutely. She made the album.
Most definitely, man.
Word up.
We appreciate you, Burna Boy, man. You don't do a lot of press, sir.
Yes.
Yep.
Respect.
Cheers.
Wow,
Yes,
this
sir.
was fun.
African Giant.
Rap Radar Podcast.
Yeah.